You buy that, and then what did you do with it?
All right, I'm about to start the seminar. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get together. All right, I think I have everything together. The first thing we're gonna do is talk about the business plan. I think you have that. You have that down pat, but I do have an hour and a half left, so I just wanna know how to stream.
Oh, I thought 1 hour or 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
It's 2?
Yeah, but
So with 2 to 3, right?
yeah, well, it's 2 to 4.
Oh.
You can stay how long you need to, but, all right, let's go. Blessings, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me or see me. I'm trying to make sure that the stream is working well. I do apologize, guys, that I'm late. I usually start 2 o'clock on the dot, as well as, we're here almost every Wednesday, but we have not been here every Wednesday. So thank you to the Facebook family, to the YouTube family. I appreciate you guys. And we're gonna get some things started. If you cannot see anybody who is interested, you put your email at the bottom, and I'll be able to send you a packet of some of the things that we have here to show you now. The goal is, if you don't know, we were doing weekly seminars here, weekly seminars that highlighted economic development. If you don't know what economic development is, this seminar was set to educate people and give them the foundational knowledge that they need that we have not been taught. People who want to invest come up with a great business plan that will secure a loan, but there's so much missing holes as far as how do I save? What do I need to do to look representably good on paper? Mindset is the main thing that I focus on. So if you guys did sign up on Eventbrite, there was a playlist on YouTube under Secure Your Energy page. That's our sister page, our marketing page. That page, you will be able to see the different seminars that we did over the week. Let me just get the names of those seminars so y'all guys can remember what we went over the first few weeks. And that was building economic strength through economic development, assets versus liability, understanding the building blocks of financial health. A lot of us are sick because we don't know how to save. We don't understand the importance of getting our households together first so we can use that as a basis of lending. So if you have not seen that video focused there. We talk about profit and loss statements, and these are things that I talk to my students to use now, use at home. Teach your kids, teach your kids about this. It's about financial health. So those are one of the things. Also, investing in education and workforce. That is the most important thing. We have a lot of things going on as far as AI, making it automated. It's making us more lazy. We're putting a lot of our resources into other things except for our knowledge. Me, being a descendant from the islands, one thing, we didn't have a lot. And one thing my grandmother always told me, if you don't have money, you don't have a place to live, you have your mind and you have skills. And wherever you go, you can use that to make something. So that's the most important thing you should have first, is the building blocks of knowledge, so you can take that anywhere. And that's why I say continue education was something that we have to push in our community, as well as we talked about concepts of understanding credibility, understanding the concept of when you say you're gonna do something, do it. When you deal with somebody and they say they're gonna do it, do it. A lot of us are caught on the internet and we're going to people who look like they can do it and we're losing money. And when that happens, I'm the person that you usually call because you're in the middle about to do a litigation because somebody didn't do their part in their contracts. If it's about real estate or whatever, that's what I do and what I teach you. But before that happens, we want you to know what to expect. Me, when I had to I had to sue a county. I couldn't put everything into the lawyer's hands because if I did, I would have been paying more, going over avenues and submitting things I need to. But if you were able to give them direction, you can have more control of what happens with your money, with your situation, and be able to move forward accordingly. So that's some of the things that we talk about is the mind frame. And today, we want to move forward to the two key things that I want you to be able to do. Is secure a loan and to get assets while you're in the process. That we teach alternative real estate investments. With $500 to $1,000, you can get a tax lien and you can basically own that property if the property is not redeemed when you do the right steps. So it's all about patience, understanding, and securing the little assets so you can look a little bit more lendable as well. So here on the board, we have just a basic template of a business plan. That basic template has everything a normal business plan will have. So we're just going to go over that real quick. The executive summary. Description of the business, executive summary, product and services, marketing, competitor analyzation, the human factor, risk analyzation. I sent you guys, I will send you if you need it, SWOT analyzation form. This is something that you need to keep all the time. I use SWOT, and I taught my kids about SWOT analyzation so we can prevent risk in school when they were doing stuff. Okay, we'll talk about that. They're like, huh? Yeah, you get them to start thinking out of the box. What's gonna happen if you do this here? What will possibly be the outcome? So let's keep it moving down this yellow brick road. So this is what we have. I'm gonna keep it on this page and then we're gonna move forward. So I can get to the most important part. I'm gonna have to skim through this real quick because the main part that I wanna get to is market analysis, and we're going to do a financial analysis, the importance of doing that and constructing a good financial analysis on your business plan that's going to show the lender, I'm ready. All right, so let's go. You already know what's on your cover page. We kind of lay that out. You want to know your major milestones when it comes to a business plan. Okay, you want to know your major milestones when it comes to a business plan. Those major milestones is circumventing around what your business wants to achieve. What do you understand your particular business is going to do to help the community? Remember, this is community building. Slide, the other way. You're welcome. All right, you understand that this is community building. So we're not telling you to just open a business for you. Most businesses, can you guys see me because it's a little dark? Most businesses are open and become successful when they are more client-driven, not just business-driven. So when you lay out your business plan, the main factor as you're putting together is who's your audience, who's your customers. And that's gonna help you develop your market plan. It's gonna help you kind of get together what you're gonna start spending, how you're gonna move forward. Does that make sense? This is the mindset that we have. It's not just opening a business, we're gonna get rich. We're creating this for longevity and to solve a problem and to build off of that and to make sure that we're gonna be generating income for us and other people in our community. Okay, so the next thing is I want you to we're gonna get to promoting a budget. How much would it cost to promote your business in terms of ideas of brochures, what particular platforms you'll be using. Can we use free platforms? Can that same platform market the business as well as sell the product? So that's some of the things that you're going to be putting in your marketing plan, in your business plan. This is all encompassed in that. So we're still strategy building. We're kind of doing like a revamp of all the 16 weeks videos. I'm just trying to get you guys up to par as we break down a few section by section. All right, so market analysis also. The state is a priority in ordering the tasks required for your market. Who is responsible for executing these particular things that you're going to do with marketing? Are you going to have everything on automated? Are you going to use Facebook? Are you going to have a person that's going to market for you? Because again, now we're talking about marketing and we're talking about finances, because I need to have $250 for someone who's going to market for me, sell my emails. I'm going to send my emails out, put all my stuff on Facebook, or I'm going to be doing it myself. Why we're talking about that? Because when we get to that particular section of finance, your financial section on your business plan, that is going to be included for future projected spending, because that lender is going to want to know what you're spending the money for. Everything in our business plan is going to basically be an El Stopper. What that means? They ain't going to have any questions for us. It's going to stop all their questions because we're going to answer it. Okay? So I think I got a cuss. I had to go real fast because we were really late. I do apologize. A cuss of the foundation of the thinking, what we're going to be doing now, bridging over. And the last part, we're going to do a trilogy of the real estate prospector, where I'm going to introduce you guys to a little bit about deeds, tax liens, and that stuff. The stuff that I love. The stuff that I love. All right, so let's keep it moving. Thank you for tuning in with Miss Grace. If you don't know who I am, that's who I am, or you can call me Lashley. We also have a website with a lot of free resources, so don't be afraid to hit the like button and go down into the link below. You'll see the website and you can just start to explore. All right, so let's get into unlocking real estate. Let's see, 5 keys to building a business that secure assets for investments. I usually have my son here, guys, so just bear with me. It'll be a little bit more easier, but we're gonna make it happen. Shout out to my son, shout out to my daughter. If you have young people in college, definitely teach them these key things, because it's not only about going to college and getting a degree, it's taking that knowledge and creating their own. We want to create more than working bees. So this is right here, 5 keys to building a business that secure assets. Let's get it. Develop a clear business plan. Focus on building strong cash reserve, diversifying your asset base, implementing effective asset management practices, and reinvesting profits. So that's what we're going to get into. Hope you guys can hear me and see me. Thank you for stopping by. All right, let's go. Maybe I can sit for you. I'm not trying to be lazy. I'm trying to get it together. So, here we go. Moving too fast. A well-crafted business plan is the foundation of any successful entrepreneurship, any business. Okay, remember that. It outlines your company mission, vision, strategies for achieving your financial goal. A comprehensive business plan should include these things that we talked about. A description of your product and services, market analysis and target audiences, competitive landscape and competitive advantages. That's what we're going to be talking about. Organizational structure and management. And we're going to get into market and sales strategies. And we're going to get into financial projections, including revenue, expenses, and cash flow. Just a little bit. Cash revenues. Cash revenues are the bloodline of your company. So that's the main thing that you're going to be wanting to show the lender, that you are, or you do have some cash revenue coming in, or you have something to sustain your business, that you're just not coming in saying, hey, I need your money to do what I have to do. So cash reserves are the lifeblood of any business. They provide a financial cushion during challenging times, enable you to take advantage of growth opportunities, as well as help secure assets for investments. Prioritizing profitability. Ensure your business, I do apologize, I gotta get this a little bit big, there we go. Ensure your business generates significant profits to cover the operational expenses currently and the reinvestment for the company. You want to show that in your profit and loss statement. You want to show that in the communication that you're basically having through your business plan on your financial statement. Implementing cost-saving measures. Regularly review expenses and identify opportunities for cost reduction without compromising quality. These are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. You want to keep cost reduction. Like I said, if you can sell on a particular website for free and market at a certain discount price instead of having it separate or have a whole separate person to do it, those are the strategic plans that you want to think about, plan on implementing in some time, and put into your business plan so the lender can see, oh, they currently do this, they currently have the website set up, they sell here, this is some of the money that they have going on, but this is their plan. And if they generate this amount of money, then they can move forward to have someone send their emails out. Oh, that's why they need the money. Does that make sense? We're answering it before they even ask. Now, set aside funds for emergencies. This is something that you want to keep in mind. Do you think should be part of your business plan? Set aside funds for emergencies? Yes, yes, the lender love it. My first business plan, when I constructed it, one of the subsections that I put in the financial statement was loan payback. They want to know how you're going to pay that loan back. So within my budget, I made sure that my budget consists of only using about 70% of the money that I was asking, and 30% of that money was directly already allocated to paying back the loan for a short amount of time. When they see that, they love it. When they see that, they love it. I'm giving you some good points here, okay? So that's something that you want to keep in mind in your financial statements, that lenders love to hear. How you going to pay me back? Sometimes a hope and a dream is cool. They're like, okay, I'm going to, my dream is
Hello, Moto.
which is going to be able to make these loan payments, this loan payment. But hey, for the first month, 4 months, you're already paid, because 30% of what you gave me, I'm already putting that to the side to pay you, because I'm responsible. Let's go. We're showing the lender who we are. Diversify your assets. In this process, if you look at those videos that we released for the first 16 weeks, it's talking about what's an asset versus a liability. Relationship, we talking about acquiring land. We talked about some of the machinery we use that becomes an asset that we can put on our financial statement, our computers, those things. But we need to know what's an actual asset and divvy that up correctly. So diversifying is crucial. Strategy for managing your risk. So they know if you print, this is pretty simple. If you print shirts, and they like, you have a $5,000, $10,000 machine, they know that that's an asset. They know that's liquefiable. And you're kind of subliminally telling them like, hey, I have this asset, I have this. So they like, okay, we could get paid back. They're not just looking at that like you can make your product. That's liquefiable. So you want to throw that in there, because you're letting the lender know that I already invested in myself. I have some big business going on. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, you know what I love, and that's real estate. So investing in commercial real estate, that's something we're going to get into at the end. Residential properties, I think it's very important that business have some type of brick and mortar. I know everything is on the internet, but that's the scariest thing for me. You know why? Because what is that? What is that concept? Y'all know what I'm about to say. Own nothing and be happy. That's not how it works. We're going to have all these online businesses, things like that, and own no brick and mortar because it's easier for online. No. If we have products that we have to store, we have things like that, or we want to host events, we want to have a place that we can do that. Or we want to have someone that we can get together to do that with and make some money as well, and that becomes an extra side income. Like, for instance, if someone had products that they needed to store, instead of using a basic storage unit, won't you buy a storage unit if you already own a property? Buy a shed. Let's buy a shed, because the shed's like $5,000, $10,000 from Home Depot. Go ahead and make sure you could probably get it installated if you got the products that needs to be installated. And right there, you got your storage unit. You saved $150 a month, and you have an asset that gave you more, more equity in your property because you're upgrading it. We think it's smart. Now, that's something that you may not be able to do right away, but these are some of the assets that you want to start thinking about and put into your business plan. Like, hey, right now, I'm using this particular storage unit, it's $70 a month. But once I secure this loan, I'm going to be able to buy this, add more equity to my portfolio, as well as save money by storing my products here, or having a little side office that have somebody there that can help me distribute. These are the things that you want to put in your plan. That you're showing them that I'm rock steady, I'm ready, I got a great plan. Next thing that is very important as far as diversifying your assets, intellectual property. I don't care if you just start your business, one of the first things you need to think about is trademark, copyright, whatever. If you made it from scratch, that is your dream. Look into protecting yourself, okay? There's a lot of people who still dream stealers, star stealers, whatever they want to be. and they take your stuff and they go make it theirs, they put their name on it, and because you don't have any representation and you don't know and you didn't secure it, they're over there making money on your brand. So start early. Intellectual property is part of your assets. It may not be a plus in revenue right now, but it's going to protect you in the future, okay? And also, remember, your business should be already set up like an LLC or whatever you want it set up as, but usually it's safe to, if you're a one-person man band, do a LLC that gives you like a degree of separation, some tax benefits as well. And what that goes to say, you want to use that LLC and secure assets. What other assets can we secure? Because that LLC is what you're actually going to be showing the lender that it's an entity that is established, moving, paying bills, have investments. So you can open a Robinhood account for your particular business and start investing. So let's say $50 a month into a portfolio that's for your business. You want to invest in stocks and bonds for your business and yourself. So within that savings that we talked about, assets versus liabilities, and you doing your savings now because you got all them liabilities out, you saving some money, you got $100 you saving, $50 is going to your bond account for your business, and $50 going to your personal, or 25 for business, personal, 25 to savings. Remember, the most important thing is pay yourself, save yourself. Pay yourself, save yourself. So if you make $100, save $20. Try your best. It's just save it, put it away. And if you need to buy yourself a cup of coffee, you pay it yourself. And then you take the rest and reinvest it. Does that make sense? Or you do what you have to do. Does that make sense? The little things count. Don't think it don't count. The small things turn into big dreams. I promise you. Okay? All right, so let's keep going so we can get into the most important part. Implemented effective assets management practices. If you started it in your home life, where your bills is paid on time, you're not overspending, you're not wasting, you did that for a whole year and a half before you started your business, and then you opened a business account with the help of your good credit now, of your good paying history. That's usually how a business is started. It's usually started based on your personal credit. That's why this is a step-by-step method, and it was such like a rigorous process when I did these videos, because I want you guys to know it's not overnight. The first year of starting your business is about you establishing your home, your bank account right, getting your you together, getting your mindset, getting discipline. You don't have discipline at home, you're not going to have discipline in your business, and it's going to reflect. My first credit card was a Home Depot. The credit card in my business name, they used my personal credit, and I've been using it now, building up my business credit with that Home Depot. Make sure whatever credit card that you do get, that is nothing that you're just going to be swiping. It's something that's specified to your industry, and that you will only use it for your particular industry, and you practice self-control. Remember that. Okay. So I think that is it as far as this, because we have to get into the meat and butter. Oh, this is it. I think I talked about this. Reinvest profit for long term. And that is the machinery. That's the mechanics. That's the printing machine. That is the shoemaking machine. I don't know. Whatever you need to show the lenders. Y'all let me know if my screen is going in and out too, guys. Okay, as far as on the internet, because it looked like it's getting light and dark. So what that goes to say, those assets you want to reflect it in your business plan. So that's what I was talking about, the reinvestment profit for long term. You're already showing them that you're investing in yourself long term. You're buying big bulk products, things that you're going to be manufacturing your own thing. Or like in my situation, where I received a loan and I wanted to build on my business, and I'm saying it's real estate, I educate, but hey, my education is so good that I got 4 pieces of land. Here you go. There's my asset. It shows my skills. That shows that I can make something happen. Here's the website. So I'm sorry, I'm a little itchy. That's what, how I show my potential for reinvestment and future profits as well. That's what you want to show. Okay, so we're gonna get out that 5 keys of building a business that secure assets. Let's get out of there and see, can we move forward? And we're gonna get into, no, not the trifecta. just a little bit into this SWOT analysis. Okay? Let's get into the SWOT analysis. And SWOT analysis is something that you'll be using all the time, something that you'll be referencing all the time. All right. So if you don't know how SWOT analysis works, SWOT analysis can be used as a good guidance strategy at the high level or low level when it comes to setting up your business objective, okay? How to identify the internal factors including organizational culture, experiences, resources, and unique qualities. These are some of the things that you can think about when you're coming together, putting your SWOT analysis together. All right, and SWOT analysis is something that you're going to always update throughout the life of your business. All right. I'm sorry, y'all, give me 1 second. Thought I had it all to where I wanted it to go. All right, so some of the things that you want to include in your SWOT analysis is you want to analyze the internal environment, your external environment. That means the internal environment is your business structure, what you have to offer, what is your niche. That's what you're going to start with in your first box. What is your niche? What is your pluses? What can, you know, all the good things about it. And then you want to create another box that's going to highlight what are my downfalls, what are my weaknesses in my businesses. What are some of the factors that's causing me not to be able to get my product out? Those are the things that you're going to put in your next box. So those are some of the things that's in opposition of your business. Then the next thing you're going to look at is what are the environmental influences that are working with my business or working against my business, and how can I change that to make it work for me? These are some of the things that you're going to be looking at in your SWOT analysis. You're going to also want to always have a time frame of implementing these changes, because these questions that you're asking is not just questions. Once you answer it, then you have to come up with a way to implement a change to fix it. My issue is I have an amazing website, but I'm just not getting any push through. So what resources do I have, or outside or inside, that I can use to change this situation? Outside, we have someone who can do Google Ads, or maybe I can learn how to run Google Ads myself. Pay somebody the first time and then do it myself. Haha, I say that because I did it. It was a gentleman, amazing, from Fiverr. Guys, just be creative. You see what I'm saying? But you always want to build to fix your problem. He was amazing. He ran my ads, then he did a whole PowerPoint presentation showing me what, how do I put the description, if my ad was rejected, why, things like that. And then there were a few ads set up that I can just re-put on automated, that I didn't have to use his services, pay $250 a month. These are some of the things that you're going to put in your financial statement or your financial summary to the lender. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to use this, and this is a seminar that I'm going to take, so I'm going to have a specialist set it up, and then we're just going to have it on automated. So the first $4,000 of the money that I have budgeted is going to go to continue education and starting off my marketing. They like, whoa, that is a good idea. That's fast forward thinking, and that's what the lender wants to see. We want to answer all types of questions while we're putting our business plan together. Now, let me see. So again, this is a picture of kind of what I was talking about: strength, weakness, opportunities, the threats. Now, threats, I changed that with time, because we talked about our weakness. The weakness can be the threats. You can kind of put that in one box. You can interchange this to a way that it works for you, for your particular business, but it should highlight this. And you see how I put internal, external? You can use that for each box. Internal, external strength, internal, external opportunities, internal, external threats, internal, external weakness. And when I say this, I use this for my kids, okay? What's your strength? I listen, I'm an A student. What's your weakness? I get in trouble because I like to do jokes. Why is it harmful? Is it helpful or harmful? Which one would be better if you use it? What's the opportunities if you use your weakness and turn it into something good? Maybe you don't need to be in school acting like a fool. This is me just letting y'all know how I intertwine that into my personal life. And this is the things that you can do too. I'm just throwing that out there because I brought this up earlier and I know people was like, what? She told her kids about SWAT. Yup, I used it. Yup, and then all of that, when you evaluate, what's your threats? Mama gonna get you because you're gonna get in trouble. I'm just playing. I just wanted to lighten it up a little bit, but I'm not. You see what I'm saying? You got to be critical and think outside the box. So that's a little bit about SWOT analysis. I don't want to get too much in detail about that. This is something that you can always revisit. I sent you the layout. Well, I didn't send you. I sent the people here the layout of it. If you want a layout of all the documents that I have presented today, just put your email at the bottom and I got you. But you guys let me know, can you hear me? Or you can hear me or see me. And I do apologize if the lighting is a little bit messed up. Okay, because it seems like it's going in and out. I'm looking a little dark, but let me just check. And thank you for tuning in today. So let's see, is this? Ooh, it's the business plan, customer risk. This is the business plan that I sent you. I kind of went into it kind of fast because we were like 30 minutes late. We got about 30 minutes for this section and then another 30 minutes where I want to get into the assets part, acquiring assets. But here we go. This is the business financial planning. Let's see. I know y'all can see a lot of my stuff, but I'm trying to make sure we got it. Okay. I think this part is going to kind of be a talk through real quick, but this is what I gave you guys, this document. Y'all may not be able to see it totally on the screen, but it has a financial overview document, assumptions, some of the things we're going to get into today. All right. It talks about operational ratios, liquidity ratios, debt ratios, profitable ratios, and you can find that on a profit loss statement as well. So let's just do our talk through. Let's get ourselves through this. We're going to be talking about the financial part, and then we're going to get into the market analyzation because the financial part is very important. Is this part one? Yeah, the financial part is very important. It is going to bridge us right into the market analysis and our spending. And so we went into the 5 essential things you need to learn before diving into the market or into the business plan. And then we're going to get into this. Let's see if we can get through this. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for tuning in, coming to Lady Grace out. I hope you're having a great day. Let's get to this seminar. I need you guys to get your pen and paper because we're about to talk it out. I think we got an hour. I want to say thank you so much for being with me. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. Unlocking your success, the essential guide for business market analyzation. Let's get it. Starting a new venture or planning a significant expansion can feel like the setting the ceiling all the way up and it's uncharted. It's like uncharted oceans. You have a vision, a product, you have a passion, but without a map, how do you know where the treasure lies? Or more importantly, where the iceberg is hidden, where is the issues, okay? So that map, my friend, we're gonna be talking about it today. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is why market analyzation, some of the why. We wanna reduce the risk, knowledge is power, understanding the market demands, competition, potential hurdles, mean fewer nasty surprises down the line. Identifying opportunities is definitely important, discovering untapped niches, emerging trends, unmet customer needs that your product and services can fulfill. Remember what we said, we're not just starting our business because we love it, we got that passion, but we want to help a community, we want to help a particular sector. Because if we're identifying a problem and solving it, our our business is already sold. Our product is already sold because we want to cater to our customer and fix something that's broken. Okay, or make something better, make somebody happy. So, identify the opportunities, validate your business idea. Is there a real market? Let's be for real. We like to do stuff. I like to knit, but you're gonna make $1 million off of it. What type of knitting can I do for that? Let's be realistic. So, validate your business. Is it a market for what you offer? Will people pay for it? Market analyzation provides the data to answer these crucial questions. That's what we're going to be talking about next. Developing stronger product and services. This is what you're going to be showing through your market analysis and your financial statement in your business plan to the lender. You want to, I need this money because I want to build my services better. I want to be able to get my product out. I want to be able to secure this particular asset that's going to make my business grow. So that's the plan. By understanding customers' pains, point of preference, when you know what niche or what you're addressing, it's very important to put that in your business plan, because that is telling the lender that you already have a market for it, and they will be able to do their market analysis and figure out if it's real or not as well. Crafting effective marketing strategies, knowing your target audience, spending your time, being efficient. What message are you actually giving to your audience, and how best to reach your audience. The next important thing of doing market analysis, you gain a competitive edge. Understanding your rival's strength and weakness allow you to position your business uniquely, okay? Uniquely offering superior service. If your competitors, let's say, what type of service that you're into. If your competitors, let's say, offer 50% discount on any referral, you may want to offer a 50% discount and a gift card. I don't know, but once you know what your competitors are doing, you never ignore your competitor. That's part of your market analysis. You can, and that keeps you up on the trends as well. You can utilize some of those ideas and make it better. That's just the way it is. I'm not telling you still the ideas, but you take it and you make it better, okay? And market analysis also gives you the opportunity to attract investors. Savvy investors won't back a business without a solid understanding of the market. That's why we're doing what we're doing. A well-researched market analysis demonstrates your homework has been done, and you are a great potential person to lend to. So how to create your business marketing analysis step-by-step guide. Defining your market and industry. What is the overall industry you're operating in? That's how you start. Now, mind you, you're not just doing line items. When I talk to you right now with these 4 points, it should be into a paragraph. Yeah, it should be into a paragraph. This is how you're structurizing it. So as you're listening to this and you're answering it, maybe you can talk text yourself and send it to your email. And then when you do your market analysis section, you can put it into a paragraph form. And that is part of your business plan. Like I told you guys, I did my business plan in about 2 months because I just took my time, part by part. And if I had an idea or something, I would send it to myself. I will add it to my market plan, and we'll just build like that. All right, so these 4 concepts will be in the first paragraph of your market analysis plan inside of your business plan. That's what we're structurizing right now. What is the overall industry you're operating in? What is the size of the market? For real, not I can sell $1 million. No, I gave you an example. I always give this example. My waist trainer business. Waist training was the biggest market. I had so much room to go everywhere. The stars loved it. The beautiful girl loved it. The Atlanta wives loved it. I had a big market I could have showed them, like, hey, everybody buys waist training. But then you move on into what's your niche? What is your particular audience? And I was able to just cut a section out of that big old section and say, well, I'm in healthcare. And it's more for preventative. It's more for to stop back pain, body mechanics, people who work long-term, and my customer base is in healthcare. They're in public transportation, they're in frontline workers, people into working out as well, but put in long hours. So I was able to demonstrate to the lender that I had a particular sector of that market, which allowed me to provide realistic numbers to them. Does that make sense? In your business plan, you want to provide realistic numbers to them and reference, okay? Hey, according to Vibe magazine, waist trainers sell at this much for this much, but I'm doing this, so I can cut the market where the average waist trainer is at $75 and I secure mine for this amount and I sell it for this amount. Market analyzation at its best, and you see how it bridges into our financial statement, our financial part, where we're like, hey, I can buy 50 waist trainers at $25, and because the market's selling for $95, $100, I sell them for $60. And this is where, and then I sell to this particular market. The lender like, I love it. Cutthroat. She got a plan. She got an audience. They got a niche. Got a profession. Does that make sense? Now you got to think about your profession. How the lender will look at you. What are their expectations? Does that make sense? Learn who you're catering to. Create the business plan for the lender, not just for you. The last thing in that particular paragraph, the last two things is what is the growth rate, potential growth rate, and that is basically kind of reiterating what we just talked about. Hey, it's been growing this much over the last year or last 5 years, because the trends is this. Everybody's into housewife, everybody's into health, so this is what you're able to show. Everybody loves soap. Everybody has to buy houses. Whatever you're selling, this is what you want to show. So the last part in that first paragraph is identifying subsections. What is that? Are there direct categories within the broader market, like I just told you, my subsection? That's what you want to make sure is in there. So it's kind of reiterating those 4 things in your first paragraph. What is the overall industry you're operating in? What is the size of the market? What is the growth rate? What particular area is identified for you? What is your niche? Next paragraph in this particular section, identifying your target audience. These are the 5 things that you want to answer and the lender wants to hear. The geographics, the demographics, where you're going to sell it, who you're going to sell it to, age, who I cater to, teenagers, older people, sick people, gender, if you can. What are their income bases? Well, I sell to people who are more lower income, giving back to the community, also providing a good quality product for them at this reasonable price. Okay, so some of the things you could think about because you're kind of building a customer profile right here too. You're literally building a customer profile and identifying your target audience and telling the lender about it. And when you move on to the second part, the needs and the pain points. Yes, this is something you never want to forget. If you're learning how to sell, you sell based on people's needs and the pain trigger, okay? What problem do they have that your product or service will actually solve for them? What are the frustrations and the desire of the particular customer, and how are you addressing that? The next thing you want to move into is the buying behavior of your customer. This is market analyzation section. This is in paragraph 2. You're answering these questions to the lender and to yourself. Buying behavior. Well, my person has to buy soap every month, and I have it available in all the stores right there in the local store. So this is the buying potential of my product, and this is the buying behavior that I notice with my particular customer. How do the current, I do apologize, the buying behavior, where do they shop, like I just said, what influenced their purchases, their decisions? This is the things that's with it. Well, I'm catering to here because there's a need. I'm giving you an example. Me, I do economic development. I do more for middle class, lower income people who want to get into the market, who's locked out. And there's millions of them. So now that I'm creating an avenue for them to learn easily, on demand, online. They can go right online and learn how to invest in real estate. Is that I'm addressing a big need because it's a housing market crisis, and these are the things you're disclosing to the lender in your amazing business plan in this particular section. So you're basically creating a buyer persona, and you're letting lender know that this is my niche, this is my audience. I already have buyer persona. We have people that love this particular thing. Here we go. So you develop about 2 or 3 detailed functional profiles. You don't need to put that all in your business plan, but I do think you need to do that so you can understand who's your target your target market, who you're going to talk to when you go out. If you go to marketing seminars, you don't want to just talk to someone that don't buy fragrant perfumes. You want to kind of know, okay, I go here because this is a whole health and wellness is a beauty type thing. This is where I need to be. This is my target audience. Does that make sense? So create your buyer persona, where they're going to be, what type of stuff they listen to, where they can find them, how you can connect to them. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. Now, moving forward, analyzing your competitors is very important to do so. Analyzing the competitors should be within this section. They want to know that you don't think that you're a man by yourself and you're just going to sell. You have competitors. Let's go. Who else is trying to win the hearts of your customers or your target audience? Who's your direct competitors? Offering similar products, services to the same audience. Example, if you're a coffee shop, how many coffee shops around in the area? What type of coffee they offer? Do you offer a special coffee discount or a special coffee? Do you have special events? These type of things. Do they have special events? How long they've been in business? Pay attention to your competitors. Indirect competitors offers direct solutions to the same problem. For instance, it's not a coffee shop, but it's a tea shop down the street. It's an energy shop down the street. So how do I get to that market? How do I offer my amazing tea to people who are health and wellness junkies? These are the things when you start to look at your competitors. That's why we're always analyzing. That's why we're always looking at it indirectly. My indirect competitor is the regular housing market. How can I get people to get away from there and get into foreclosures, tax liens? How do I do that? So that's my indirect competition. What is your indirect competition for your business? This is what you have to tell the lender. I already evaluated them and I have a plan. Okay? So substitute products you need to keep in mind as competitors. Alternatives that might replace your offer entirely. Example, streaming service versus movies. You offer education on a podcast. The competitor for a podcast is actually probably YouTube because you don't do visuals. Now you have to look at that like, well, people are doing visuals, my competitor's doing pretty good. Is there something that I need to get into? Or can I just stay the podcaster form? Does that make sense? Analyzing your competitors. And you tell the lender, hey, this is the way I'm going, but I am bridging because according to my competitors and people in my market, this is something that's trending. They love that because they like, okay, you're paying attention to the trends in your market and what other people are doing as well. So substitute products is part of your competition analyzation. So for each competitor, you want to look at their products, services, and prices, their strength, their weakness. You're basically doing a little SWOT analysis on them. What do they do well? Where do they fail? Their market sales strategies, color concepts, whatever. Like, oh, okay, that's why everybody's all peaceful when they buy their stuff. That's why people fall for it. It has this amazing, funny character there. Does that make sense? Their market sales strategy, their market sharing. Who supports them? How can I get support? Maybe they have other content creators or other government officials that support them. Can I go to my local community elected officials and see, can I get a boost? Can I put my product in a government building so they can see it? Do they have any type of business days that I need to be aware of and come in and be part of it? So this is all part of you analyzing your competitors and the market that's in it, because now you're like, oh, my competitors deal with the chambers of commerce and I don't. That's how they get to go to all these places and know about this stuff, and I don't. Now, you can up yourself. And lastly but not least, very important, is customers' reviews. You always put customer reviews on your website, and you want to see what's the customer reviews for your competitors. What do they love? What do their customer love about them? Because you want them to love you for that or something else. Okay? Friendly competition. Identify your unique selling position. Now, after you do all that, okay, Lord, where cards like, what makes me special? And you're already showing that through several sections of your business plan to the lender that I'm special because I do this, I did this, I planned this, I have this, I'm planning on this, I already have some of your money saved for you before you even lend it to me. I'm special. Identify your unique selling position, what makes you different or better than the competitors. So, we're going to move on into the third paragraph of your market analysis section of your business plan, which is going to consist of two major points that I want you to keep in mind. Understanding the market trends and focus. There's not a lot that you're going to share. You can use a lot of this in your brain. There's going to be brain concepts, but you may can add a line or two into your business plan, okay? The market is rarely static, with external factors that influence. So, having a pastel analyzation effect or approach is very important. So this framework is 1, political understanding of what can affect your business, government policies, regulations, how does it affect it? Economy, economic growth, inflation, interest rate, how much it costs to ship your product. Guess what? We have a trade war, so it costs more. In the next year, I'm projecting that I'm going to be spending this much more on shipment or this much on product, putting my product together because of this happening over the next couple of years. That's why I said this may be part of your business plan or it may not, depending on what market you're in. But that's something that the lender wants to know. So social, geographic, demographic shift, lifestyle trends. It's going to be something going on where my people are going to want to buy this product. I gave y'all an example. This happened during the COVID. Now they have commercial products of CMOS. No one never heard of CMOS. And then our beautiful brown melanated African Americans came with this beautiful thing called CMOS during the COVID, and now it's a household product for many. Does that make sense? So basically what happened in the environment the social environment created a market. Okay, that's something of the things you want to talk about as well. So is it a shift coming? Do you see something happening? That's why I started my business teaching about tax liens and tax deeds, because I knew that people were going to be locked out the market. That is going to be own nothing, be happy. So the people who don't want to own nothing and be happy, they're coming my route, because guess what? The market is so inflated, people cannot even rent, let alone buy. Our kids, our generations to come, it's the numbers of people who own is going to decrease every year. I saw that coming. So I said, let's create an educational seminar platform for people who want to learn to be self-sufficient, to do it themselves, because I'm locked out the market. I can't even go to a regular realtor because I can't even get a loan. Foreshadowing. So this is something that you can put into your business plan, okay? Just giving you a heads up. So the legal environment, it plays a part as well. Lastly, the environment with climate change, substantial concerns is something that you need to play a part in. Climate change, meaning if you're into buying property in rural land and natural disasters happen, it changed the landscape. Now you can't even sell that property, or these type of things. So that plays a part in your market analysis, or it opened up. Now people are building there. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to use some of this money because in the area that I invest in Maryland, they actually have incentive for investors to buy a property, and they're making more city grants and things like that, or city initiative programs. So this is what I'm looking forward to do in 2 years or a year from now, and I need your money to help seed and match whatever projects that I plan on making. Does that make sense? So that's just an example of how you represent this type of information to the lender through your product. Okay, does that make sense? Let's go. Next thing that you want to put in your market analyzation section of your business plan is access to particular markets and the barriers, okay? And so you can't put it in there, or you can keep that in mind for you. This is deep dive thinking, I'm gonna be honest. So what are the barriers to entry into your particular business? And how can you circumvent that? That's something that should be thought of at the beginning of coming up with your plan, but sometimes it's small barriers. Like for instance, anybody can invest in real estate, but at one point I was kind of like almost the only black woman who was doing it, and I was around a bunch of lawyers and people who were Jews, and that was kind of a barrier for me because they like, I'm gonna deal with her. We already cool, buddy. You know, going to the tax lien sale and everybody like they talking to each other. I'm like, hey guys, and they're like, we're sharks. Hey buddy, you know, like who are you? You know, so that was kind of a barrier for me. But now that everything got very diverse and things like that, it's like, but I just things I kept in mind, and that shaped my marketing. What I had to do the first few years of marketing, make sure that was so professional, so this, so that, show certain pictures and to get this marketing. Does that make sense? Understand what is the barriers to entry in your market and how you circumvent that. You may not have to write that in your business plan, but you want to realize that even me as an investor, invested in Maryland, I had a lawyer that had to be my trustee because it was a particular property that I acquired that was in a Confederate place that had all types of Confederate flags. And I was like, I'm a black woman owning a good chunk of this property that got a bunch of trailers on the other side or whatever, and I don't know, the Confederate flag. What we gonna do, lawyer? He like, I got you, I'm gonna represent you, whatever we need to do, I'll go see it, you get the realtor to see it, you'll just be the owner. And that's when you learn about trust, representation, and that was kind of my way of circumventing that barrier of the drama that may have come, or maybe the damage that may have come to my property because they may have known that it was a black woman who owned it. That's just real. So know what barriers are in your particular market. All right? You may not need to put that in your market analyzation plan, but let's keep it moving. Pricing analyzation, your competitors, we talked about that. Value-based pricing. Value-based pricing, the lender wants to know that you're for real and that you can really sell this product. What does that mean? What do your customer perceive your product and service should be worth, not just what you want it to be worth? What does the market say? What can your audience or people who are buying your product actually afford, and what are their value on it? And then you find a price in the middle. And you say, hey, this is how much it costs to get it done, and this is how much I'm selling it for, so this is my profit margin, and that's what the lender wants to see. Cost plus price. Are you going to approach it with that? What does it cost to create your product? And what profit margin do you need? That's what you want to show. Is it going to be based on value or based on product? Or both? But you want to show that to the lender. Price elasticity. Hey, I have sales every month or once a year, and this is how I generate more sales. This is what happened last year when I did that, and this is how much profit. Or this is how my competitors did it, and I think this is how I can revamp it and work for me. They want to see that, especially with the first year. They want to see at least a 1 to 2 year plan in your business plan so they can lend to you and feel comfortable. So the next thing you want to keep in mind as we start to wrap up the market analyzation section is tools and research for your analyzation. Understand what resources you can use. Okay, guys, if, like for instance, I was selling waist trainers, I Googled waist trainers, what's the average price? Who wears waist trainers? How much has it been selling for? You can Google this and they'll bring up different statistics, but I'm gonna give you some resources. Primary resources, you can collect surveys, you can do interviews, You can do focus groups, observation, direct engagement. You may want to put your product out on Facebook and be like, what y'all think about this? Or just put it out there and everybody like, oh, I love that. I love that. And then you already see that you have a product on demand. So that's part of market analyzation as well. Secondary research that already exists. These are some of the ways you can gain this information to do your market analysis research. Government data, the Census Bureau, depending on what market you're in, Bureau of Labor and Statistics, industry-specific reports, like for instance, I do real estate, this is how much houses have been selling for, this is how many houses that's owned by private institutions, this is whatever, and this is what I want to do, this is how many people I can potentially educate. Does that make sense? This is the problem that I'm answering. So these secondary resources are already there for it that apply to your industry, you just need to look for it. Industries associations that's connected to your business. You want to be part of that. You want to be observant of that. You want to be able to get reports from these particular associations. Be part of it. And the trends is going to help you make effective planning and keep you up to date on new services and trends that you can use to help your business. Market and research firms, if your product is that advanced, okay, you can use that as well. They offer detailed reports that help you. So market research firm is like Gartner. You haven't heard it, it's Gartner.com, Gartner.com, Forrester.com, market research firms that can help you. Information, education purposes only. You can also, academic studies, university have research papers on products, things that you that you may need to help advance you. I'm just throwing things out there when it comes to resources, because some people just don't know where to research. Okay, so these are some of the avenues you can use to help you get some of the statistics you need, because you want to put links there. You're going to be making like a chart. If it gets that deep, you can. Okay, you can put your information in there and tell ChatGPT to make a chart for you. But we're getting beside ourselves. So, key takeaways from what I have talked about for the last few minutes is be objective. Don't let your passion cloud your judgment. Seek out data that challenge your assumptions, not just confirm just what you want. Okay, it's called get negative feedback too, so you can make good decisions. Don't always talk to someone who agree with everything you say. Okay, get your feelings hurt, and then you can come up with a better idea. But if somebody's just critical, don't pay no mind to that. But you know what I'm talking about. It's an ongoing process. Remember that marketing always evolves. Your analyzation should not be a one-stop wonder. Revisit it all the time. SWOT analysis is your friend. Update it regularly. Don't get paralyzed on analyzing. Like, just keep researching. Don't get stuck. Okay. While being thoughtful is the key, and that's what I've been teaching y'all. Don't overthink. At some point, you need to just get out there and make it happen. Okay? But I wanted you to just slow down the Tito and not response. But don't get caught in just analyzation and you don't go move forward. It's not even that hard to start an LLC. You can do it in 5 minutes, and then you got your business set up. But then, how do you apply that LLC for tax purposes? It's an ongoing educational process with a business. Meaning, like with my LLC, what can I write off when tax times come with my particular business? Does that make sense? Now, combining data, and we're finishing off the market analysis section of our business plan. Use both primary and secondary research to get well-rounded information and views. So let's get to our next part, which is financial analysis. And I think this is going to be a great part. We have, what time is it? 2:30. We have another half an hour. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We started a little late, but we are on task. I hope this information is helping you and you understand what the concepts that I'm bringing out to you, and it's helping you structureize your business plan. Remember, write this down, text to yourself some of these concepts that stand out to you, that apply to your business, that you want to add to your business plan. and text it to yourself. Type it to your email, send it to you, forget. You probably have another idea tomorrow on your coffee break, and you do it again. And then Friday is the day that you're putting these things together in your business plan, because the section that you're on in your business plan is marketing. So we're doing everything marketing, and you're just filling in the holes. That's just where we're at. I'm just kind of giving you a real life look at how you can do this, apply this, and get it done. Because when I got my first loan, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of customers, but I had a big hope and a dream, and I had a great history, and a lot of stuff solidified as far as my presence and what to expect from me in the future. And if they can give me a $40,000 loan based on that, they can do the same for you. I wasn't rich, but I knew I had a plan. I secured assets. It wasn't a lot. I had steady income, as well as everything was set up legitly. And the lender said, hey, we're going to support that right there. And that's what I want them to do for you. Okay? Now, moving forward, let's go. And I'm going to give you some ideas of, where this business plan could be forward to, like different lenders, grants, that type of stuff. So thank you for being here with Miss Grace. You are amazing. I'm going to drink some coffee. Keep things going. Like I said, I am a woman of God. I hope you guys are a woman and men of God. That's the people who I want to cater to, God's kingdom. So with that goes to say, I'm praying for everyone who stops by, look at this content. I pray that you can listen to it and gain some insight and start your own. Because the only way that we're going to have an active, beautiful society that's cultivate all off of different effective way of looking at the world and works for everybody if we all put our hand in the pot. We cannot just have these big companies running everything in control of every industry, baby. That's the only way that we're gonna have some lobbying power. Go check out some of our lives that's on YouTube that we talk about that. One of the main goals for you as a business is not to just only have a business, but you want to gain power. You want to be able to make effective changes in your community. You want to talk to the elected officials and say, hey, my business, big business. I touch 5,000 people in one day. You need to listen to what I have to say about your particular policies. Does that make sense? All right, next section, we're going to do our talk through, and then we're going to start summing some things up. Beyond the crystal ball, crafting robust financial projection business plan. Let's get it, okay? Starting or growing your business often feels like a thrilling journey into the unknown, okay? You got passion, a great idea, boundless energy, but when it comes to numbers, you feel like you're starting in a foggy crystal ball, hoping for a glimpse of the future. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get you out that cloud, okay? It says, there were financial projections. That's where financial projections come in. And no, they're not magic numbers. They're not predictions. They're not magically crafted. They're data-driven. Forecasting of your business future, financial performance. That's what we want to do. Far from just the requirements for investors, this is not just that. We're going to get into it. This is going to be a robust projection, demonstration of a strategic roadmap to help you make informed decisions, okay? So get your pen and paper because we're going into the next section. Again, let's do the why. Why? Why bother with financial projection? Again, it helps you with strategic planning. It focuses you on thinking critically about your business model, customer acquisition, operational costs, and growth potential and trajectory. Another reason, funding and investment. That's why you want to know about financial projections. What can I possibly do in the future? Investors and lenders also, they won't even look at you without a solid financial projection. That's why a lot of people don't get business loans. They don't even have this section in there. That's why I'm focusing on it. They won't even look at you. They want to see how and when their money will be returned and what is the potential for the growth. Would you be a returning customer? Could you send more customers? Yeah, we will be able to deal with this person. The next why behind creating a financial projection section in your business plan is the resource allocation portion. Projection helps you understand where your money comes from, where it's coming from, your stream of income, where it needs to go, allowing a smarter budgeting and resource development plan. Performance benchmarking also creates benchmarks because, hey, in 3 months I'm able to do this. I can sell more in the spring. I can't sell this in this month or this or whatever. You got benchmarks now. You got financial projection because you know how your product moves. Because we kind of talked about that in the market analyzation because we was analyzing the market, seeing how it was moving. Now we're bridging that same information that they knew and just adding it on and making it look a little different in the financial market analyzation section. Does that make sense? And that's why I wanted to highlight these two together. Very important. So, why bother? The strategic planning, funding and investment. Investors won't even look at you. Resource allocation. Projection helps you project your resources. Performance benchmark. And lastly, it helps you mitigate your risk. By modeling different scenarios, you can anticipate potential challenges and plan contingency plans. Does that make sense? In the winter, I cannot sell this product. In winter, I cannot do this. What can I do? Try to get sales and do more promotion here so I can make a robust in the summertime, spring, because winter is dead. They don't buy my product. But I can get a little bit done because now I have a buffer product. Does that make sense? I have a sister product. And they like, oh, okay. Instead of you selling lamb chops because it don't sell, now you just selling lamb chop knives in the wintertime for Christmas. Accessories. But you know what I'm talking about. We always being diverse. They like, oh, they got a business backup plan. Okay, and they got a vendor for that. Let's go. And it's already on their website. That's amazing. That's what the lender want to see. They won't even look at you without this. So we answered the why. So the core component of your projection, your financial projection, now this is where we're going to get into when I say, hey, paragraphs is going to consist of this. So you're going to kind of think about this information I give you in a paragraph form, and you want to answer it and send it to yourself to put it into your business plan. So your financial projection should typically include 3 primary statement projections over the period of 3 to 5 years. What did I say? It should typically include 3 primary statements projecting over a period of 3 to 5 years. That's kind of robust, but let's just start with 1. Don't stress yourself. Often broken down, you know what, don't stress yourself. Give them what you got. They'll be okay. But you want to give them something that's professional and polished. Often, so these financial projections is usually often broke down in monthly for the first year and then quarterly after that. So that's why I say just start with the first one. It'll probably be more detailed, and the other ones is quarterly because that is more so like a guesstimate for the future. And the first one is kind of like what's happened in the past. Second one is kind of like what's happening now, and maybe the third one is the future. Does that make sense? Let's rephrase that. All right, so the core components, 1, you want to make sure that you have your hands on an income statement that has profit and loss. You can print that anywhere. A basic profit and loss statement, and this is going to be part of your financial analyzation part. That shows your projected revenues, cost of goods, operational costs, and ultimately your net profit loss over a period. So you say, hey, last year I made this amount of money throughout the spring, winter, fall, and I have a potential projection to make 10% more this year with your money in my second projection, with your extra $50,000 you're giving me because I can buy this product, get more things out, open myself to a bigger geographic. So then we get to the third financial projection paper, because it's actually a projection now. You say now in that third year, now we're moving on, as I pay you, I should be at this amount of sales, possibly engage these amount of people, have this new audience, and have this platform that's running itself They're sending out my products with no issue. I saved this amount of money, and I'm actually looking to get a storage unit for my property. And you already talked about that in your introduction to your business plan, like the goal, because they asked me what you need my money for. You already told them that, but now in the financial outlook, you're working your way through that. You're showing them that. Does that make sense? That's why I say, let's just start with one, profit and loss statement, and then you can see how we're gonna make the next one, then the next one, just laying it out bit by bit. It's not really hard at all. All right, so the next statement that you wanna have that you can find a printout of is cash flow statement, or you can use your bank account as a cash flow statement for your business. They're gonna wanna see that. You already wanna have that ready for the lender. You don't want them to ask you that. That's within your stuff, okay? So this is my cash flow. I have personal income, I have this source income, and I have business income. This is what I put into my business, and this is what my business, I reinvest into marketing already. This is your cash flow statement. Physically, you could just type anything up, but that's not gonna do nothing for the lender. But guess what? We already got everything because we've been budgeting and saving for a whole year in our personal and our business account when we was getting our credit together. You know what I'm saying? So we already got that savings account. And that was the savings account that got connected to the LLC, that money only came out of that to reinvest for the last year. I didn't even pay myself, buddy. But look, we got the statements for that. And I got a personal bank account that's good, that pay everything on time. And my credit score pretty decent. That's all the stuff you're showing them, saying to the lender right now when you show them these pages. Yes, you are. And they run it, so you want to make sure that it's honest. Because we not Joe Fraud here. We did our stuff clean and concise. I always tell people I look like what they call ballerina, the nicest swan ballerina on paper. Probably look a little rough and, whatever y'all want to see when you see me. People judge. But on paper, I make it indoors everywhere. And then I just have to talk my way into the rest. I promise you, and that's what I want y'all to do. Let that paper talk for y'all, get y'all in the door, and if funny feelings fall because of the graphics, who we are, at least we represented ourselves and we had an opportunity to try. It don't hurt, okay? I'm just trying to show y'all how to beat the system, the people who know what I'm talking about. Girl, I usually be honest. I say I'm a white girl on paper. Let's go. I'm going in everybody's house. And I get there and I'm like, what's your name, Grace? Yeah, oh, okay. Oh, well, your history is nice. Thank you. Let's go. Does that make sense? Moving forward. So two statements that you want to have on hand that you're filling out with information that's truthful: income statement, profit and loss, something that you can also be pulling up information from your bank account or from some of the websites that you have used, like Etsy, your website, whatever you sold already, that type of stuff. Okay. And the last statement sheet that you want to have that you're going to put in this section is the balance sheet. Yeah, okay. This provides a snapshot of your business financial health at a specified point. This is what I have coming in. That particular balance sheet will reflect that for 6 months, and this is what I have going out. And at the bottom of it is going to say what you can hold, what you can or cannot hold, or if you're just basically just making it where you crap at zero, like you don't lose or you don't gain. That's kind of a great position to be in for a year or two. You do got to make money, but it's good that you didn't lose. So sometimes lenders are not mad at you then. And then if you mention, hey, I have mentorship that I'm using as well, partnerships that's going to help me so I can move forward. They love to see that. So that balance sheet is very important. This provides a snapshot of the business financial health at a specified point, detailing your assets, what you own, the liabilities. We talked about what liabilities was, and the equity within the residential value if you have home properties, business properties. Does that make sense? They want to see that. And it's not always that they're going to use that for they use it as your assets to lean on. Because with my business plan, they didn't use my land because my land was outside of the state. But they saw I had the land. They saw, you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, okay, throw it out there, baby. Let's go. So, how to build your financial projection section step by step. So we have those three. Put them to the side, work on that. You got any questions, let me know. I'll help you guys. Balance sheet, profit and loss statement, as well as your cash flow. And that cash flow can be shown through your bank account. Now, let's go into paragraph 1, 2, and 3 of our financial projection. First paragraph, start with your assumptions. This is what it very okay. This is the most crucial step. Every number in your projection will trace back to an assumption. Be detailed, be realistic, and document everything. First paragraph, you want to, again, you're taking this information that we just talked about from market analyzation, baby. Market size and growth. Bring it on over. Just reword it. How big is your target audience? Same thing, but you're doing finance. Now we're talking numbers. Okay? Customer acquisition. Now we're talking about money numbers. Before we were talking about people numbers, now we're going to bring the money numbers and make them highlight and make them pop here. We could reach 500,000 people in 1 year based on the market and our market utilization. Now those 500,000 people can actually convert to about $200,000 based on what we invest and what we can get back. Boom. It's just taking that information and transforming it. Now you see it's not that hard, not at all. It's kind of repetitive, but they want to know that you're truthful and that you have a plan. So again, in that first paragraph, market growth, customer acquisition, how many customers, bring that on over. Pricing strategy, bring it on over. You don't got to tell them that about the competitors, da-da-ba-da-ba-da. Now you just tell them about your plan now because you already told them about what the competitors are doing. Now you made it your own. This is my pricing strategy. So when I sell them this product, I then offer them this services because they may need this to add on to it. And now, because in your head, my competitors do that, I have it automated as well by this time. Moving forward, sell conversions. This is what you want to talk about. We're already talking about that. I'm just giving you the words for it. I'm giving you the professional word for it. Sales conversions, that's exactly what I just told you about. What percentage that my leads will become pay? I bring over I bring the market to 500,000 people, but I actually thinking I can pull 350,000 sales. I'm throwing out big numbers, but you have a hope and a dream. They're like, oh, okay. At least you don't think that she's gonna sell all 500,000 people. Now they converting that number to something realistic for the lender. Like, okay, that's realistic. I can see that happening for you. I like your plan. Let's move forward, okay? So, in this particular paragraph, that's what you're going to be highlighting, giving a little bit more about operational costs. Hey, operational costs, I'm pretty much at, what, $500 a month. Why? My products cost $250. I don't have no overall overhead cost extra in storage because I store at my home. And now all I do is pay for shipping, which is $200, depending on the average sales right now. And then I have extra $50 to pay for whatever packaging. I don't know. Does that make sense? So you want to put that out there as well, because now you showing them numbers. Because before you was like, hey, this is the avenue, this is the market, I can market it, this is how easy. It's free to ship on Etsy, or it's free to do this. Now you're showing them, well, with free shipping here, and I get sales here, I can make it happen here. And this is how much I can project this, make, you know? Let's convert it into numbers. Next, within this paragraph, you want to highlight the capital expenditures. We just talked about that. I'm giving you the professional name. And I'll re-innovate these concepts, but we're talking through it, and I'm just giving you the professional names. Then the funding, how much capital do you need? This is the first paragraph, guys. They want to, how much capital do you actually need? And from where would it go? You're reiterating it now, you're giving them numbers. And you want to say, y'all don't have to, but I told the lender, I'm giving you 30% already, you give your money back, because I put 30% to pay you for the first 3 months of your loan, just in case my sales are slow. They're like, oh, I like that. She had a plan, she got a buffer. She's just not trying to spend all the money. So that is right there. What are you gonna do with the money? That's all in the first paragraph, first 1 or 2 paragraphs. Or you can bridge that like closing statement. We're saying funding, I'm asking for this amount of funding, $50,000, and with the hopes of advancing marketing in my company. And then the next paragraph will go into that, a little bit about the funding of the marketing or what you wanna do. Does that make sense? And after, you want to highlight, because most importantly, it's like, okay, how you spending my money? How you gonna pay me back? Not only the 30% that we save, you wanna let them know, hey, I got a savings account. This is how much I save. And if anything happened, I can liquidate. They love to see it. They love to see it. I know y'all like, oh, that is just too much for a business plan. When you say more, they ask less, and they like it, because you're efficient. They don't have no questions. Now, pro tip, justify every assumption, justify every action, try to, so they don't have to ask you nothing, with research. Refer to the industry benchmarks that we talked about in the market analyzation, your market report, the competitors analyzation. Like, my competitor is doing this, and I know my products can do better. How do you get a competitor analyzation? Go on Google, what is it, Google Consult? And if you're a business owner on Google, you can compare your competitors' websites, things like that, the volume of how they get sales. There's a few ways you can do that with this AI and depending on your platform. Figure it out, print it out, show them. My competitors do this, and I'm doing this right now. This is my potential as well. They look at that because you're educating them about your market. So that's when you move on into, I think we're into paragraph 3 or so, because it was so robust for the first paragraphs. I kind of had to bridge it into, this is how I'm gonna pay you. This is like I said, that next paragraph is what I need, this is how I'm gonna pay you. My competitors got this is how much income coming in, possibly. Make your projections, your assumptions realistic. Now we're moving to paragraph 3 or so, okay, give or take. Your projected revenues. More details. It's the same question, but now you're bridging it. Y'all ever wrote a paper APA style? I'm teaching you right now because you always have to have a closing sentence to kind of bridge it into the next part. So we kind of said it before, this is your projected revenues because this is what my competitors are doing, this is what I'm doing, but now we're gonna just give a little bit more detail. So in this particular section, based on your assumptions, the numbers of customers, average revenue that you represented, the units sold, forecast your sales month by month. You see? Now you're like, hey, the first 12 months of me receiving this money, I probably can make $2,000. Then in 3 months down the line, it's gonna go to $5,000, and this is why. You already showed them. I mean, it sounds repetitive, but you can say refer to section this if you felt like you don't want to reword it. They love that too. That's APA style. Very simple. Okay. So your projectual projection now has detail about the month-to-month thing for the first year. It's so amazing. We're talking about the month-to-month for the first year and say, hey, we're gonna make $2,000. This is based on our realistic assumption. We're gonna make $5,000 based on our realistic assumption. We make $6,000. And when we make that chart, we already got the paragraph that got all the information. So when I say put that paragraph in GPT or whatever and say make a chart for me, they'll make a chart for you. Does that make sense? We're making it easy. We're showing you how to use AI, and we're showing you how to use your brain still to think critically. I know it's like, dang, I gotta make a chart too. You're doing it right now as you do your paragraph. And once you see them do it, you can make it yourself. Does that make sense? Because I know it's a little hard, but I'm a geek. I love that type of stuff. So let's just move forward. So now we're in paragraph 2 or 3. We got an idea of our 12-month financial projection because it's based on reality. And we got an idea that already a good paragraph, we put in ChatGPT and pull up a realistic chart that the people who don't want to read that paragraph, they just flip it, they see the chart. Oh, okay, cool. Because they probably read the first 2. And if they didn't get to the second one, they missed that information, they go to the chart, they see it. Because we have people who are busy, people who don't read everything fast, and they're making a decision on your stuff. You want to put as much information out there as possible. So, within that paragraph 3 or 4, your financial projection, which brings you into forecasting your costs. Because now that I bought this particular manufacturing equipment, I don't have to pay a manufacturer to do it, so I save $200 a month. And this is your financial cost projection. So cost projection of the goods sold will be in this paragraph in more detail. And when you give this detail, you can take this and put it into ChatGPT. It's gonna make a chart for you, baby. So if you sell, let's say you sell shoes for $10 and it costs you $4 to make each one. And your clogs, your shoes, is $4 per unit. That's what you're selling. This scale directly reviews or highlights your revenue potential. You have a potential of making $6 per unit. How are you going to show that? But you just said that in a sentence. You can show that in a chart if you want to. Operational expenses should be within this as well. So this is what I'm paying on my shoes. I have a little $6 buffer right there. And I can price it up a little bit when I get a little fancy. But my operational costs is, we already talked about that because we already showed them when we operating in the market analyzation. We online. Right now, we don't have a lot of overhead costs when we're working at home. But later on, we do want to buy a shed. That's part of some of our, what we spending your money on. But this is part of this operational expenses. So right now, we don't have a lot of operational expenses because we've been pretty cost effective as a business, and you want to tell them that, and you're going to say, well, I'm listening all of my fixed and variable expenses, things that like, maybe at the shipping switch, or you have 500 sales this month, 250, the price varies. So those are the variable expenses, but you want to put that out there because you're doing a 12-month projection. So with 12-month projection, to make it easy for you, if you start January, March, you can do for January, March, June, 3 months. Just kind of do 3 month blocks, and then if you want to get in between and be technical, you can do that for the lender. But I think 3 months blocks will be good for the first year projection, and then you can move on and be like quarterly and kind of like, that's like the same thing, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's move forward. So you got your operational expenses. I don't got a lot, and it may increase because I'm just gonna have a shed now, or it may decrease because now I don't have to pay to store my stuff. You're showing them your operational expenses in real time and what it can project it to be based on reality assumptions. Moving into, but this is the 5th paragraph or so. You see how we bridging it in? We're doing APA and everything right here. Building your core financial statements. These are now, those statements that I told you about, those 3 statements, income statement, cash flow, and balance, you want to just sum that up just a little bit. Nothing crazy. You're going to sum that up. That's going to reflect in those 3 pages. That's like a chart for them, but you just still have to have a paragraph to reflect that. So, building your core financial statements, just explaining it to them. Your income statement, where it come from, how, okay, let's just back that up. Give me 1 second. Subtracting your costs from your revenue. So your costs from your revenue will be there, but you already showed that in your forecast, so you don't want to be too repetitive, but that will be in your income statement. So you can say refer to income statement at the bottom. When you look at our projected income for the first year versus spending, it looks like we can profit about $10,000. 1 sentence, that's all I'm saying. Don't make it too complicated. Just give me 1 sentence that sum that up. Okay? Cash flow. This is our cash flow. 2 sentences would do that. You can obviously see we have a fluctuation in the wintertime. We kind of lower down our cash flow, but our plan is to keep our revenue even over the 12 months, is to increase the prices slightly in the summertime and then offer sales, because that's going to compensate for the times that we're not busy. Because we already told you that in our market analyzation plan, but now we're putting numbers to it. 2 sentences hit a quitter. That's it. We're just summing up that particular form. Then the balance sheet. As you can see, based on our balance sheet, the projected asset and I'm highlighting our projected assets like our cash flow, our accounts receivable, payable, the different products that we sell. We have a great potential to have more assets than liability, which will make us a great person for you to lend to. You want to butter them up? Yes, you want to have a conversation with them. I had a 27-page business plan, and I got it. I went through Ace Women Loan, and they asked me could they use my business plan as a template. I'm a geek. This is the second time in my life they did that, but it's good. That's for the people who want to do it detail orientated. But I said I figured it'll be a little hard to show them how to execute something so long because it'll look really crazy. Like, whoa, that's a lot. But if you do this in 30 days, where you're texting yourself or you're sending your ideas to yourself on a daily in an email, and then you go by the end of the week, you have 6 emails, and you done did your whole mission statement, copy and paste, put it right there. Profit loss, put it right there. Put it right there. That's how I put my business plan together. It was just amazing. Okay, so we're gonna start summing some stuff up because we're kind of over our time because we started late and we're supposed to only go to 4 o'clock and it's 4:09. But the next thing you want to do in your in your financial statement or projection plan in your business plan is to create scenarios. Best case scenario, everything will go better than expected if I have this. Realistically, worst case scenario, I'll be able to compensate because I have these assets. So we're gonna kind of tell them best case scenario, realistic worst case scenario, as well as what we already planned. We got 30% of the money saved to pay you, so keep that in mind. That's paragraph, worst case scenario, best case scenario, because we're summing up the financial planning section of our business plan. They love to hear this. Review and refine. We're coming to the last few steps, okay? Do the numbers make sense? If you're projecting millions in profit with minimum employment, that is a red flag. You want to scrutinize your analyzation. How much does a small change in a key assumption can change your financial projection? So just keep that in mind. We'll give you an example. I sell online, it's this charge. If I sell in person, it's this charge. It's this amount of money. If I sell in person at a pop-up shop, I have to pay this fee. If I keep going at this method, this is how much it's gonna be. If I sell online, if I keep doing it this method, this is what it's gonna be. Does that make sense? So you wanna scrutinize your avenues. You wanna compare and contrast what works best for you. So to finish off this, we're gonna talk about tips for success, and we're gonna start wrapping it up. I wanna say thank you so much for being with Miss Grace. Okay, don't call me Miss Dry Eye. I know it's not easy to sit in seminars, but it's very important that we do so. Very, very important. So I hope you're still alive and everything is fine. But we're gonna finish off with some tips, and that those tips are use the right tools to help you acquire the right information. That is, while complex financial models software exists, you can use places like Google. You can use spreadsheets on Excel. It is perfectly adequate for most of the small business paperwork that you'll be using. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't just plug in numbers. Understand the logic behind each calculation. Be literal. Your first draft won't be perfect. Be prepared to revise any assumption that's over assumption, under assumption, and adjust your projection accordingly as you gather more information. Focus on your cash flow. What is your financial basis? Especially for new businesses. Running out of cash is the more common cause for failure than lack of profitability. Keeping a close eye on your projected cash balance is important, and that's why we started off with talking about assets versus liabilities. Because if you're taking your cash flow and spending it in liabilities, you're not going to have a healthy future. So pay attention to your cash flow, okay? So With that being said, I want to say thank you guys for being with us. We are over our time. I started late. I had few people here that I want to answer some questions for them, make sure that this seminar was good for them. You know, as far as me presenting this information, I want to make sure that it is helpful for the people who watch it. So that's what we were doing for the first half an hour to the people who showed up, and I wanted to give them other resources. My website, that's what I wanted to do. So if you want more information about counseling service from me, consulting services, please do so. If you're looking to invest in any state, especially Georgia, and you just need to brainstorm with someone, maybe you don't want to go the conventional way, you want to start investing in deeds or tax liens or foreclosures, or you just want to kind of learn the market out here, I am here to consult with you. You can go to my website at www.thebuybackteam.org or .com. You'll see the information down at the bottom. I got a few websites, so it's .org because it's the same website, but I got a few URL. .org because I consider it a school. I consider it a place where you can go as an online platform where you can educate yourself and connect with each other. So join the family. We have free membership. Just sign up, go to the website. It's in the description. Sign up, be part of the family. And our goal is to connect investors from across the United States. I don't care what you invest in. Tax liens, deeds, regular loans. I'm here for you. Any information you need, just give me a call. With that being said, love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next month. And I'll see you at my next food giveaway. We'll be back giving food away in Atlanta at the beginning of next month. Okay, guys? Thank you for being here with Miss Grace. Have a great, great evening.